Have you been feeling intense energy leading up to the 12/22 twin flame portal? Stay tuned because I not only give an energy update, but I share 6 things that we are to learn to create heart harmony coming out of this portal. Let's go! Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Harmony. I'm a twin flame expert helping twin flames around the globe face fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Welcome to my weekly glow show. Today I'm going to give you an energy update that is revolving around the 12/22 twin flame portal that really stands for bringing closure to the past and creating the space and the new beginning for relationship harmony. And in that process, I would like to kind of give you a piggyback here of some prior leading up to this that goes back to the 11/11/11 portal, which is the November 11th, 2018, 18 being 11 year, that what that really says and what that means is that it is a universal reboot. It is about that portal opened up the reboot for an opportunity to collectively, having tipped the scale through our ascension process that started on 12/21 of 2012, where we started going up in ascension, and the higher up we went into our 5th dimensional energy to activate and expand our awareness and our higher consciousness. Then we were able to open up collectively the universal Christ consciousness of universal heart, the universal love of the universe, which is also saying that's also when the age of Aquarius started. And that's saying we're bringing into form the harmony and balance of the peace, love, joy, and harmony. And in doing that, the 11/11/11 portal was a clean slate, a universal reboot to collectively start over in the Christ consciousness of humanity. And then now what has been leading up to the 11/11 to the 12/22 really is bringing it from the 5D into the 3D. And it's not that we haven't already been doing that. It has been. But it's the universe now supporting us. So think of it in terms of from 12/21 of 2012 going up through the last 5 years virtually in consciousness that we were supporting the universe. Now the universe is kicked in and supporting us and bringing it back in to form. And excuse me. So that cosmic light that was coming in now, what's happening in this new beginning, this cosmic higher vibrational light is really coming in. We are becoming the conduits to anchor that now into Earth. And we've already been doing that, but like on a bigger scale, okay? So we're the conduit, and that we're bringing that light in from the universal grid, and we're anchoring it in our heart, and then we're also connecting and grounding it into the cosmic grid, grids of the Mother Earth. But in addition to that, it's balanced. So we're also bringing in, not only are we giving this energy down into and anchoring it into Earth, we're also bringing it to form from that Earth crystalline grids up into our heart and balancing these masculine and feminine energies of the universal timelines here. And that's helping us to bring as in heaven, so it is on Earth, but then bringing it from a 5D into a 3D reality. And the best way to show you what that looks like is this card, basically. I just like, this is the universal Christ consciousness that is then coming into, anchoring into our heart, that higher vibrational light, and then we're kind of the conduit anchoring it into the grids of Earth. But in that, because it's coming down and coming up back to us, it's expanding our heart and is creating more of the universal heart within us. That's creating a higher vibrational way to love. That is creating more compassion, which is like representation of this pink color here. And then that then is the way that we, especially as twin flames, are bringing that love into humanity, into reality, and collecting it through the world wide web of the ley line grids of the universal energetic portal that we create as a world wide web. And so that basically was what the 1111 portal was about. And now leading up to that, we had another huge shift on 12/12 of 18, a portal. And that portal, I'm not going to go into detail on, but it was also like sort of like the heart of this portal. And what I will tell you is, though, I did a video that is a 12/12 2018 portal, the opening of that gateway, that is the gateway to the 12/22 portal. And so I will make sure that I have a video linked to both the 11/11/11 portal, where I did an activation of the energy while I was in Hawaii on 11/11/11. And I will also connect that, because this is going to become a playlist, because there's several different pieces of this. It's so expansive. There's several different videos and parts to this that I'm being shown to make a series. So you will find this at some point connected as a playlist, but I'm going to make sure that they're all connected in here for you to have access to, either in the cards or at the end of the videos or in the descriptions and or all the above, because it's going to be that important if you're coming into this that you understand the full circle of this process and what's happening, because you can use this to your advantage as a twin flame to understand what you're doing within the timeline of this activation. And so then, you know, as I already mentioned, what that's doing is we're leading into the winter solstice of the 12/21 of 2018, which is bringing full circle, full cycle, full reboot of the age of the Aquarius. That was the transition between age of Pisces that ended on the 12/21 2012 ascension portal to here. It will be 12/21 2018, a 5-year transition as we've moved into the age of Aquarius that began on 12/21 2012. And so really the only thing I want to say about that, because there's a lot you can talk about the winter solstice, but what I really want to say here is it's really just like this full circle alignment I'm talking about. That's the end of the old ways, the death of the old, and the beginning of the new. And for our purposes, what I want to talk about in this video, it is giving birth to the age of the Aquarius right there, okay? That's saying then moving forward to the full moon in Cancer on 12/22 at 0 degrees, clean slate, neutrality, totally, ending the past, new beginnings, setting that all up. And the really cool thing about it being in Cancer is that Cancer is all about the hearth, the home, and the heart. And so what that's doing is, as all full moons is about, releasing things or letting things go, or, pulling up things to create the space for new beginnings. This one is like super amplified because of being in Cancer. That's giving us an opportunity to express ourselves, giving us an opportunity to come into more sensual sensitivity, to be able to then also create the new beginning based on the fact that this is the second full moon of a 5-moon series that is at 0 degrees. The first full moon would have been in the end of November. Then we have, this one here on 12/22. That is at the December one. And then January, which will also be eclipse, February, and March, all are going to have the full moons at 0 degrees in neutrality. All bringing that full circle with this 5-month transition, as we always have transitions from the 11/11 portal going into spring equinox of the reboot, of the new. And how awesome is that? So basically, you know, in this part that I kind of want to lead up, that I've been leading up to in this energy paradigm to give you an understanding how this all links together, is what's really cool now and really important is that brings us to the 1222 portal, which is the twin flame portal of basically bringing love into 3D form. Okay? And that is really awesome. And I'm going to give you here in a second 6 very important understandings of what's happening, what you can expect that you'll be going through, and why you're going through these things during this timeline. It will be helpful to you so that as you know that, you can use this energy to your power to really just bring this full circle, bring it home, and bring it into form. But I think just before I do that, what I really kind of want to say on just another kind of level of this is that this portal, the 1222 portal, is also basically the gateway of the Christ consciousness within ourself, the unconditional love within ourself, where we've been creating more self-expression, more personal empowerment, and more self-love, really, more self-compassion. And what we've been doing to get to this point is through, you know, all these things that we've been going up in enlightenment through our ascension process has been helping us to unlock our golden memories, which would be our golden truth, which is the golden age of the Aquarius. Okay? And then by us unlocking those golden memories, it's helping us to align with our golden path that is our divinity and what we came here to bring into form for not only ourselves, but humanity, and being able to connect with ourselves on a level that we're creating harmony and balance within. We're learning to love more of what we, not only about ourselves, but about our life and the things that we do, so that we can then like connect into the universal Christ consciousness and bringing into form more of like balance within humanity, really, is a good way to say that, which is what about the age of Aquarius is. And to do that, then let's just kind of jump right into these 6 things that you can expect. Number 1 is the return of innocence. So in the return of innocence, what we're doing is we're returning and restoring the oneness of not just ourselves, but the oneness of all that is, the universal oneness as well. And I kind of said this, but I want to make sure it's very clear. So we are 3D dimensional human beings that went up in enlightenment into a 5D grid plane through the ascension process, that collected and untapped all this knowledge and this wisdom that then now has helped us in a 5D form connect to our highest self, our highest source alignment, our alignment with purpose, our alignment with beloveds, and then the alignment with all it is. And now in this return of innocence, and we're returning to the oneness of that in physical form now, which means in the 3D, in our reality. And bringing that into form to where we're coming into alignment with ourselves and relationship harmony that we're seeing and manifesting in our everyday life, our everyday actions, our everyday interactions with ourselves and others and our experiences. And we're also, seeing that how we're connected to our source, which is trusting ourselves, believing in ourselves, believing in the journey, believing in the process. That is then helping us to align more with purpose, because aligning with purpose says we trust the process too, and that we also got to believe in that. And that we also are being asked to now, as we create this relationship harmony within ourselves in the 3D, it's helping us to create relationship harmony with the beloveds in the 3D. And as we do that, that's connecting us with all that is through number 2 that I'm going to talk about is the open heart. So in a place of an open heart, what is happening around all this is creating the open heart. And what you've been being asked to do in that is come into full acceptance of all of you. And that's why so much contrast and duality has came through your path, to expand you, to what really means to expand your heart, so that you can come into more acceptance of yourself in full spectrum. That will help you come into acceptance of all that, like other people, including beloveds and family, and help you come into more acceptance of all that is. So that you can then, what you're really doing in this elevation of this heart expansion is just what this says. As it is in heaven, so it is on earth, and being able to live and love more from your heart. So we're changing our love language from head logic to heart language, and we're learning how to create new forms of communication with others. And it's helping us then to appreciate more of ourselves, appreciate more of others, have more compassion for ourselves, have more compassion for others, help us to accept on ourselves more, have more acceptance of others. Then what's happening, because now we're standing in truth and we're stepping up, really standing out more, and then speaking more of our truth, then that is helping us to come into like more of alignment of a greater self-expression, so that helps us to create more, not only expression of self, but more empowerment of self, which is the 2 major things you have to come into the contrast of. And I said this in the video, I believe it was my 12/12 portal video, where we got to have the spirit of the lion and the deer all at the same time, which is the expansion of this heart. I also mentioned in that video that now is the time to do heart retrievals, where you take back all the pieces that you gave away and all the love you've given that maybe you didn't receive because you weren't even allowing it. So I had mentioned in that video that I have a heart healing activation, basically a heart retrieval. It's a transmission to recollect all these pieces and become more open for your heart to allow that to become more into accepting love in your life, so that things become more harmonic, and it's harmony between your give and your take here. And the other thing I want to say about that is I kind of feel coming in, I was bringing up a while ago, is we go up in consciousness and we're letting go of the lower self and the lower ways. Our heart is becoming more of the root chakra of our being. And when we do that, that activates our high heart, which is behind our nasal cavity, that brings us more into the higher vibrational love and higher form and expression of love, which is the appreciation and the compassion and the acceptance of ourselves and others. Now, I may or may not have said this, so I'm going to bring it up here in case I didn't, but I did the Return to Oneness 5-part video series over a year ago. And when I did, it was kind of like a 5D version of coming into alignment with self, alignment with source, alignment with purpose, alignment with beloved, and alignment with all that is. Now the series I'm kind of bringing into form now is kind of like the 3D version of it happening, like in reality. Okay, and so if you've heard me say some of these things, it's just the difference is we were doing it in 5D then, we're doing it in 3D now. But I will make sure that that playlist is also available for you on the cards at the end of the video or in the description and or all the above, because it's going to be so powerful for you to bring this full circle and an understanding of what we're really doing, because it's happening now. It is here. And the universe, in this reboot that it's doing, has stepped in and doing a divine intervention to make everything match and allow for us to also bring this into form. And there's no hiding now. You can't hide anything in your heart. There can be no shadows. It's all about truth being raw and real from the heart. And so that brings me into number 3. That is where, like, having a clean slate. So number 1 is the return to innocence and coming into the oneness of all that is. opening the heart, accepting and loving all it is. But then this clean slate is saying that basically I have a neutrality position. I have a new canvas to paint, a new picture. So now is the time that you might be revisiting some of your old things to once again maybe do a combination of letting go, but ultimately, like, for sure, like letting go of your stories, because like a lot of people are still hung onto the story, letting go of your old paradigms, the old projections you've put out there, but then also now being willing to see reflection and to see that if somebody's coming in now from a different place, that you're learning to see all this from your heart now and not your head, and to implement your new ways, not your old ways. That's what the clean slate is all about. That's why you're revisiting it. You're not excavating the dinosaurs of karma again. You're being asked to implement what you've learned. That's why it's a clean slate. And so anything you've thought up to this point about your twin flame journey, yourself, your mission, the old paradigms, the old belief systems, the old subconscious programming, the collective clearing, the conditioning of cultures and family bloodlines, all of that in your time, space, and reality now is an opportunity to say it's a new beginning. And then number 4 in this is you're upgrading and expanding in this. Okay? I hope you understand what's going on, which means now you're venturing into the unknown. It's unknown territory that says, I'm going up further on the limb. I'm getting to rewrite all these things as actually number 5 that I'm going to go into more detail in a minute. But in this new beginning from that clean slate, I'm, handling these things a new way. You're able to create this, like from a clean slate, the new beginning of your new story. Basically, it's a part of saying, now, what does my heart desire in this upgrade? What do I love to do from a standpoint of within myself? Within, like, what is my purpose? Like, how does it align with my heart now, and stop trying to figure it out? I started doing these reflections that guidance had directed me to do on my social media accounts that you can, I'll link this particular one below that I'm going to share with you. But you should really get plugged in, because going forward into this new paradigm, part of what I'm being asked is to do these 60-second reflections on my social media of Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. So be sure to get plugged in there if you haven't already done so. But in this reflection, I was shown to share with people, where you are, why are you stuck where you are, right? You've already upgraded, you've already expanded, and it's time to implement that. And that's kind of like going to where you want to be. So why are you still stuck here? Well, it's got to do with a couple of things, 3 things specifically. One is you are stuck here because your perception, you have not made peace with this, where you're at. Your perception of where you're at says you're still stuck and you're still hung on to these old paradigms. So you need to make peace with wherever you are here. Wherever it is you think you're going to go, you have to believe in that it exists. And then the third thing is you have to trust the steps along the way, meaning get out of the way and allow those steps to unfold as part of this process. And so that kind of like really connects to the number 5 here, which is, I mentioned the rewrites, where you're revisiting all these things with the people, the places, the experiences. And when you're doing it both in your 5th dimensional spaces as well as in your 3rd dimensional spaces, and being able to rewrite those things so that you can put the closure to the past, which is, I mentioned, taking an opportunity to recollect your power, to take back your power. And like, let me just see, like, if there's, I feel like there's kind of like an example maybe coming through, or a little bit more to elaborate on that. So I'm just going to kind of bring that full circle for a second. Say, for instance, that this is, I'm going to do that and kind of piggyback that one into the twin flame journey, because the twin flame journey in itself is the sixth one of rewriting the twin flame journey that I wanted to talk about in a little bit more elaboration, because that's what this whole journey is about. You're rewriting and you're putting a close to your past, the close to that story. And somewhere inside of you is still hanging on to the concept and the idea that your journey of your twin flame journey, if it's coming back around full circle to revisit, you're still stuck in the story. You're afraid to move past it. You're afraid to let go of the way they used to treat you or the things that used to happen. And so maybe they're even coming back around. And I'm seeing this with clients where their twins are coming back around in a new, more evolved way. But the twin that I'm working with, more than one, they're afraid, they're still tripped up on their old ways and the old pattern, and like that, like they're putting these conditions and expectations around it because they're still hung on to the past story. And this is where I'm telling you, it's time to put a close to that. It's time to let go of that story. It's time to now be able to take back your power and do self-expression. But in these revisits, I'm seeing where I guess there's multiple ways people are revisiting this with their twin. Okay. So, and there's actually, I feel like a video coming on this that has to do with the relationship harmony, how this connects within that. And that being that we're doing it from the 5D harmonization within our union of ourselves to the 3D harmonization within the reunion. And that means it's bringing it into form, and it's doing it like multiple ways. And that being, twins right now are being brought back together to close out their past ways in 3D or 5D. Twins are being then also coming into actual 3D reunion because they're doing this self-harmonization. If they're not coming into 3D reunion, there are 5D reconnections taking place to also rewrite the story from a combination of reconnecting in the 5D with the twin. That means they're coming back in the 5D. Or people, other facilitators are coming through in a 3D to plug the 5D leak, to plug the leak in a 3D to be revisiting an exact duplication of an experience with your twin to rewrite how you handled it, even though you aren't doing it with your twin, you're doing it with somebody, and it's bringing up in your face that is like an experience you've had in 3D with your twin. So basically, just to recap that, because it felt a little scattered, is that in the twin flame rewrites, we are basically doing it from a standpoint of purposefully releasing our story and putting closure in 3D with some twins, or putting closure. Some are taking back their power, some are expressing in 3D. Okay? And it's helping to create harmonization and relationship harmony with yourself in 3D with your twin, or in 5D, they're returning to help you do all the above, or somebody else is coming into place as a facilitator in the 3D to help you do all of those same things. And the sixth thing about all this is the role reversals. Again, this is part of a video in itself, okay, that I feel like potentially may be coming, all right? If so, it will be linked to this as all the series, because this is, at the end of the day, what this 1222 portal is about, is relationship harmony in the 3D. And that means that in the 3D, we are having to come into balance within our own masculine and feminine energies within ourselves, with beloveds, and also with other relationships and especially with families. And then basically, in the role reversal of this, we've been counterpart templates that have broke away back a while ago as you went into separation to individually harmonize yourselves to then come back into 3D form to reharmonize in a new way. I have many videos about that. But most of the videos that I did were technically a 5D energetic blueprint, okay? But now I'm seeing this coming into the 3D format, and I actually was shown like more 3D version of blueprint on this that I'm being asked to kind of share. Again, I think that will be in a video itself about the role reversals and relationship harmony. So stay tuned for that. That I'm sure, I know is coming because it's a big thing, and I'm seeing it over and over and over and over, which is how I'm kind of like creating this new little template for you to see the last little leak of where you need to plug within your own relationship harmony to create either like the relationship harmony with your beloved that then will translate into what I was saying about the twin flame rewrites in that number 5, or kind of said like just a minute ago being the next one, a part of that 5, is that's either helping you put a closure to your story in the 3D or 5D. So you're taking back your power and doing self-expression. That then is also in 3D, helping you to come into the relationship with yourself of harmony, and then doing that in 3D with your twin or someone else that's going to plug the leak so you can get the same experience as if it were your twin in 3D, which means you're going to have to surrender to potentially new paradigms, new people showing up to help you continue your journey, if that being the case. So there's different layers and levels of this happening. They're in that literally 3D reunions that are taking place into complete harmony, and I'm seeing this over and over and over as well. I'm actually seeing all these different pieces, and it's kind of complex, is why I said I feel like it's its own video to go into that in more depth, because that's taking off a whole new trail of a whole new other thought process that I feel like just the highlight is enough here. What I will say in this then is that in addition to this kind of new video series I'm doing of coming full circle in 3D that I'm mentioning here, that I'm also have done the coming full circle with Ludmilla, and I did that in Cornwall, England. That's another part of this coming full circle collectively, individually, and universally, and bringing all this into form with ourselves, our beloveds, and our purposes that piggyback everything I was talking about with Return to Oneness. So I have another video coming that I've already done with another Divine Feminine that will be part of this series, so stay tuned. I also have a interview with the Divine Masculine, that how he fits into this role as the collective Divine Masculine, where they are and the progress that they're making and what they're doing personally to come into this, not like role reversal, but relationship harmony with self, which is the point of this, and coming full circle within all of these things and all of these pieces that I'm mentioning. So stay tuned for what's coming up, because it's going to be very exciting to hear not only from more Divine Feminine inspiring stories of how they came full circle in this process, but also from the Divine Masculine standpoint as well. And one other thing I just want to share with you, that because of the 12/22 being this portal, and also the full moon in Cancer, and right before Christmas being, the gift, I have a gift for you that you will find on here on 12/22. You will find available on a link below, an Amazon link that will have for 24 hours my book, Twin Flame Codebreaker, available on Amazon ebook for free. And I usually do this every full moon, and this is a perfect one to do it on. It will give you tons and loads of information So be sure to get plugged into that resource. And from that, I feel full circle. I feel complete for this energy update. It's quite complex. Be sure to get plugged in to all the other resources that I've mentioned here. It will be very impactful, very powerful. You know, work your light during this time. Let your light shine and bring into form the love of your life, of everything you love from your heart during this time. And the more effort you put into right now, the more amplified you will see your future and your magic manifesting coming in 2019. So with that, I feel complete. Make sure to like, comment, share the shine, and may you always face your fears, find freedom, and glow forward on fire. Namaste.